Well, hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, be a book business boss, and building people to build the kingdom. Now, you know this gentleman to my left. You have seen him many, many, many times. We've talked about technology. We've talked about the books he's written, and lo and behold, he has written two more. Oh my goodness. But it's on a very helpful subject on my end. But I don't know. Let's have that conversation. So I want you to get your pen and paper out if you're old school, and if you're new school, get your phone out and go ahead and share and tag and comment if you want to, because I'll be happy to put in the questions and we'll ask our in-house expert. Dr. Hassell, I think I have published now what, 6 of your books? Six?
Yeah, six or seven.
6 or 7, and then who knows? We probably got 7 and 8 to go.
Yeah.
But and then we've worked with Celebration of Praise, and so with their Sunday school literature, which is moving right along.
Yep,
and
sure.
so everything is doing what it's doing. So, but we want to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. And if you go back to my YouTube, we were live probably, what was it? Probably last year, earlier this year. We were really talking about the history of it and all that good stuff. And so, it's been around a long time. Don't worry about that. You can Google it or whatever. But I really want to start talking about, how we use it every day, how it can be used, and all that good stuff. So first, I want you to formally introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, and I'm going to put up that we can find you on Facebook and Instagram. But tell us kind of what you do and really kind of how you got into the technology space. Let's start there.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Robert O'Keefe Hassell. I'm a native of Lebanon, Tennessee, which is 32 miles outside of Nashville. I am the Senior Executive Director of the Immersive Technology Division and the Tennessee State University Smart Innovation Technology Center, which is the Applied Research Center for Artificial Intelligence, where we specialize in immersive technology, artificial intelligence, and academic esports throughout all of our curriculums and colleges. In addition to that, I'm also an adjunct professor at wonderful institutions here in Nashville, Tennessee. I am excited to be here. My journey in technology came in 2009. I was sitting in my master's class, getting ready to finish, and the provost, which is my boss now, came. She was the chancellor of the Tennessee Board of Regents, Dr. Robert K. Melton, and she said this one phrase: "Get wired or get fired." And instantly I was like, this is confirmation, because I was torn between getting a teacher certificate or getting that master's in ed tech. And it was instant confirmation. I said, you know what, I'm going to go with it because I like technology. I think I can find my niche here. And lo and behold, it became the building bridge for my profession. And believe it or not, some people thought that ed tech was risky business because you would have an education degree, but you wouldn't have a certification. Little did we know that technology was going to take a tremendous shift throughout all types of areas: workforce, higher ed, elementary school, K through 12. And it shifted the trajectory of where we are. I tell people all the time, I am not a digital citizen. I am actually a digital immigrant. I came in on the cusp of social media. Mark Zuckerberg founded social media, Facebook, particularly in 2005. I was a sophomore in college. And before we were doing that, we were using Black Planet, where we did the coding, of course. And then in 2009, Twitter came out, and so I've been through this evolutionary phase with social media. I'm that social media generation. Combine that with smartphones, 40X cameras, all of that. Like, we've been there. But I transitioned into this space. I did 6 years in learning support for writing here at Tennessee State University, and I received a call there was an opportunity for me to join the Smart Center team, and I became the director of faculty training. And I was enjoying joining faculty on technology. It was an opportunity that was extended to me because they had saw me doing university-wide workshops on writing, And so a year later, I ended up being promoted to executive director of the Smart Center. And then a year after that, I ended up being promoted to the senior executive director of the Smart Center and everything. And so now my life is sort of a hybrid role. It's administrator, professor, director. But I will tell you, it is a fulfilling opportunity, one that I don't take for granted. I think it has been divinely orchestrated for me to be in this space because I tell people all the time, I'm like Bruce Wayne by day, Batman by night. Like, I also serve as the National Christian Education Officer for Celebration of Praise Ministries Incorporated under the leadership of Archbishop Q.S. Caldwell and Dr. Celeste F. Washington. I also serve as the administrator for the Board of Bishops and Overseers, the Board of Presbyters. And so I do a lot of work. In addition to that, I'm the prelate of the South Central region of Celebration of Praise Incorporated that covers Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, and Georgia. So I do a lot, but I will say this, out of all that I do, purpose is at the center. And I believe that God has given me opportunity to be not only in the areas of education, but in technology, and combine those worlds to create bridges, ecosystems, and sustainable communities for people that are like myself and people that are not like myself, to help bring people together to where they can receive knowledge, grow that knowledge, and be able to cultivate each other into something that's fulfilling and beautiful to pass to the next generation. Because technology is information, whether it's a pencil was technology, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to learn how to pass that on. So that's a little bit of how I got into tech. I'm an alumni of Lane College there in Jackson, Tennessee, a double alumni of Tennessee State University. And so it's been a eventful journey for me.
Okay, I'm tired just hearing about all that. I don't know where y'all are, but it's one thing to be flexible and to be to get direction and to move on it quickly, because I'm the person who was in the library, love books and all of that, but I realized this is not where the money is going. I'm like, who moved my cheese? I'm the same as Dr. Hassell. I'm like, wait a minute, everything is shifting. Now we're having to buy iPads. Now we're trying to, okay, now I'm before that. I was the 386, 486. I learned Microsoft Word, and when it was DOS based, when we were doing the key to, so I've been doing it a long time. But I realized early on that more than anything, that I realized when things shift and move, I think that's one of the main things people do in the public is they just get scared of it. They fear it instead of at least learning how the thing works. Then you can determine, no, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to be involved in it. But you should at least be as informed as possible. And that's part of what this is. As you can tell, Dr. Hassell's on so many levels. And, on a side note, he is one of those people who is bridging theology and academics. So we'll talk about his book, his two books in a minute. But I think that's a important part that we really need to understand, that we need to have was first off, physically in the Bible, Jesus was always in the marketplace. He's always wherever people was at. Spending so much time in the synagogue, he wasn't there. He was always out and about. So I believe that we need to take him to the marketplace as much as possible and be able to shine that light. But then we need to be able to have the money that we need, have the positions that we need, so that we can be of influence to help the body of Christ, to help the kingdom of God. So I think they go together. I mean, I was raised on it, but everybody wasn't. The separation of church and state, I get that part, but there are some things we don't need to separate. Some things that have to be, determined and understood, and see how that we can benefit and how we can do it. So, all right. So first off, you wear so many hats. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. So first off, let's really talk about how you use artificial intelligence every day.
So one of the most amazing things about AI is the fact that I use it for convenience and competence. Shout out to Dr. Nicole Origi, who designed an amazing skill that Dr. Rustin is going to design for you, which chronicles how people use AI. On the convenience end, I'll tell you, it comes in handy. Say, for example, if you need quick notes or a quick summary analysis, boom, you type in that prompt, give me an analysis on this, or give me bullet points. And I tell people all the time, AI is like a Coke machine. You put your money in, you have to select what you want, and then it generates the output. Artificial intelligence will not give you anything that you don't put into that system because it's not sentient. It doesn't think for you, which is so amazing because it gives you the opportunity to extend your thoughts past what you would originally think. And it will prompt you to think in directions that you wouldn't normally think. So I use it simply, for convenience, grocery list with a certain amount of monetary budget. Hey, I need a workout plan. I'm not motivated. I'm not disciplined. I only want to work out 15 minutes. Give me some exercise, some exercises or whatever. Can prompt that good, baby. And it gives me those things. Recipes, learning how to cook something new, right? Prompt it in there with your ingredients that you have, and boom, there you have it. Those are the things that we use for convenience sake. But then we graduate to competency, and that's being an autonomous innovator. And that's where we want people to be, not just using it for things of convenience, but using it for actual competence, which means if you're in school programs or different things like that, taking the opportunity, something as simple as brainstorming, using it to align your ideas, to give, expanded, information to your ideas, to point you in different types of directions. You can write research papers, you can write outlines, you can do all of that. But here's the thing I love about artificial intelligence the most. It will take your thoughts and expand them. We talk about Bloom's taxonomy and all these wonderful lexicons that we go through. Artificial intelligence does not take away the rigor. It makes you think more. And one of the things that I hate to hear teachers and practitioners say is that artificial intelligence is a cheating tool. Really? No. They've been cheating since the Flintstones, and they're going to find a way to cheat, okay? It was passing notes, it was giving signals with your hands, right? When I talk about artificial intelligence to my colleagues or anybody that I'm talking about, I said we need to change our terminology. We need to get cheating out of our vocabulary. And when we refer to artificial intelligence, we need to refer to it as a collaborative learning tool.
All right. So that's where we're going to start.
Yeah.
First thing is it is a collaborative
learning tool.
Learning tool. All right.
It is not a replacement for instruction. It is not a replacement for the things that we normally do. It is a tool that we use to create more of a immersive, enriched experience. I am an advocate for artificial intelligence because I am a constructivist practitioner. I believe in being the scaffold and the facilitator of learning. I don't want to manipulate the students' learning because guess what? If I manipulate the students' learning, I want them to think like me.
Yeah.
I want them to think like themselves. And so when we talk about that, I want to give them, through artificial intelligence, the opportunity to expand their ideas, to put their thoughts out in a space where they can actually see what they're thinking. And if it's not right, they can correct it. I want to shout out one of my amazing colleagues because everybody's always talking about the academic integrity piece and cheating is always a buzzword. Hey, we have a saying here in the TSU Smart Center, and this was invented by one of my colleagues, Mr. Marcus Horton. He calls it pack it up, and you can find it on the website. When you go under artificial intelligence, you'll scroll down. It's called pack it up, and it stands for prompt, assess, and cite. All right. Prompting means you prompt the artificial intelligence, right? After you prompt it, you receive the output, you assess it, you look at it, see if it's right or wrong. If you're in like Google Gemini or any of these other artificial intelligence platforms, you can either give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. That's how you train artificial intelligence to get the right answers. Because guess what? Artificial intelligence doesn't get it right all the time because guess what it does? It pulls from everywhere to get all that type of information. So you're responsible for helping train it. All right. And then lastly, you cite it. Just like you cite a print book, a poem, an encyclopedia, you cite artificial intelligence the same way. And here's the cool thing about it. Some professors even add, when you put you tell how you used it and your actual prompt that you used. Because here's the thing, as teachers, we have to learn how to teach differently. I can tell what you know by how you prompt.
That's right. Yep.
And so the thing is, I'm not worried about you cheating because your prompts tell me your informational gaps. So it makes me a better teacher in teaching you how to use the artificial intelligence to fill in those gaps in your thinking, but also as the instructor, it fills in gaps that I may not have thought of. Because sometimes you may not understand the way I'm teaching it. But guess what? If you plug that in the system and say, for example, you're a basketball player and all you know is basketball, explain this to a basketball player that's a center. Boom, 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 boom. You have an automatic, instant understanding, relatability, and connectivity that you would not otherwise have. Hence
Right.
why we have to shift from saying cheating to what? Collaborative learning tool.
I love it. Collaborative learning tools. So I'm one of these people that I work alone. I'm pretty much a solopreneur. I outsource a lot of what I do, but a lot of it I do myself. And trying to think about all of the possible agreements and contracts and think, I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And I mean, as much as we want to, people like, oh, the whole cheating thing. It's like when I Google is no longer cheating, even though it does have Gemini with it. And it does have, an AI component with it. So that's not cheating. When you Google for something, you get a list, you get prompts, you put your prompt in and you get a list of what the information is and the order. But I still have to go back through. So for example, I have been doing more coaching and I haven't had any really major difficulty in the past, but I realized I need to beef up my coaching agreements.
Right.
Like I don't care. And I love it that you pay, but you got to be able to do the work and then not hold me accountable
Right.
if you didn't do the work. So I was like, I got to say what my expectations are, what my expectations are for you, what I'm going to offer, all of that. Well, thinking of that, I'm like you, it's going to take me time that I could be doing something else. I put in that prompt, baby, listen, it blessed me in less than 5 minutes but then I couldn't just go blindly with the agreement because I had to put my company information. I had to tweak it for what I said, when I'm going to meet, how much the fee is, all of that. So it's not like I was just pulling it down from Gemini or pulling it down from Copilot or pulling it down from Claude or pulling it down. As you can see, I use a lot. And then pulling it down from ChatGPT. That's really kind of my last one.
Right.
That's not my first choice. It's a lot of people's what they know is ChatGPT. But I still have to look at it and customize it for my particular needs. But it's much better than trying to come up with $1,500 retainer for an attorney.
Right.
It's so much easier than trying to spend hours finding the right words to say and figuring out when I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just trying to protect myself with my business and making sure that what I offer and what I say I'm offering and then what they're getting is the same exact thing. And then what they're supposed to be doing happens too as well. So it's a win-win for me, but it's not end all be all. You're right. It even has the disclaimer on some of them.
Right.
AI is not perfect. And be sure and review. We used to tell students back in with digital citizenship, you got to verify look at the website. We used to have, it was a whole service when I taught computer technology, and we would go to a website and then we would scroll down just to the footer, and it would be 5 years old from when the copyright was. I said, okay, you think that's current information? Yeah, it's on the internet, Miss Wilson. Yeah, it's current. Well, are you sure? Roll down to the footer. When was the last time they updated it? Oh, that was 5 years ago. Well, you think it's current? That's not the same year as we're in. Well, but I think it's still good. You think so or so? Yeah, keep looking, keep digging, baby. So it's those kinds of things of using it as a collaborative learning tool is just really, just really important. And it really saves me time. Now, the whole cheating thing, and then a lot of in the writing space, and you've been in the writing space. So we're not talking outside your sphere of influence because Dr. Hassell is an excellent writer. and he is one of those that we have to do very little to his manuscripts. Hallelujah. Okay, I'm getting off of that. But anyway, so I know that there are several authors out there that are like, I'm a purist. I only want to write my own works. I only want to write my own everything. I don't want to use any kind of AI for any part of it. And so, what do you say to that? It's like stealing other people's work, all the text and all the that's out there. That's like stealing, not just cheating, it's stealing. They are standing 10 toes down, as the kids say, and say it is stealing.
I think one of the things that we have to consider is we have to give credit to what we're looking at. If you're inspired by a specific text, etc., give credit. If you like a quote it, but also be able to summarize and paraphrase. The things or rules of writing don't change just because you have an added piece of technology. I would say to those people that are purists, artificial intelligence gives you a better way to say what you're going to say. Lots of times when we write stuff, we get inspired and we're like, oh, that sounds good. That sounds amazing. It sounds amazing to you, but it might not be received by the person the same way that you articulated. Number one, because their mind is not where yours is. They're reading it from a totally unbiased perspective, in addition to bringing all that they are into the space, internalizing the information that you're trying to impart. I think you can use artificial intelligence to make you a better communicator of your ideas, but more importantly, to organize those ideas in ways that would make sense to people's understanding. I think one of the mistakes we make as writers is we write as if we're the writer and the audience. We write books like we're writing to ourselves. And they teach us in English, because I'm a shout out to all the English majors, right? Know your audience.
Yeah.
Know your audience and never assume that people know the same information as you do. And in knowing that, you go out of your way to explain context, how, what, when, why, who's involved, the significance of it, what it means in context, defining parameters for people's understanding. And so artificial intelligence will help us better intentionally gauge our audience, speak to that audience. But let me tell you one thing, tone. Oh my goodness, tone. Everyone has a voice that is unique to them, that cannot be taken away. And one of the things I think authors struggle with in writing is finding their voice. One of the things artificial intelligence has helped me do, it's helped me improve my tone. Because when you write so much like I do, people come to know who you are. They come to guess your personality. They know your little buzzwords. They know your little antics and stuff. And so artificial intelligence gives you the opportunity to capitalize and accentuate your personality. Essentially, of course, let me just pause right here. I made myself a bot for my students, right? Because I didn't want to answer emails all night long, right? So I put myself in the digital space with a bot that thinks like me, talks like me, will joke with them like me, all of that stuff. I created a niche for myself. And in writing and in digital spaces, it helped me attune myself to, okay, yes, I'm a human being, but guess what? The digital space and artificial intelligence can be an extension of presence.
Yeah.
I'm here with you. You're just not, it's literally like moving you from book to reality. Like,
Yeah.
And I think when we think about that, when writers consider artificial intelligence, using it does not take away the purity of your intent.
Yeah.
Because your heart is always in your work. Your words are always in your work. I think it will help you enhance and take your work to the next level. Again, it's a tool that you can use to redefine, reinvent, and innovate, not one that's going to replace the purity of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think and we have a bad philosophy as writers too, Miss Julia. We think if it has to be rigorous and painful, etc. It, it doesn't have to be. Writing does not have to be traumatic.
Clear. It needs to be clear.
Yeah.
Get the points, but it also needs to be able to be conveyed without you.
Right.
And that's one of the things just like you have the bot. Now explain what a bot is real quick.
So a bot is it's on an AI, it's located on an AI platform. It's what you can use to interact. For example, you have on Poe, www.poe.com. You have bots like Stable Diffusion that help you create art. You have the regular assistant, which does basic tasks. You have Claude, which is, I love Claude, right? Which is another bot. So basically, they're platforms that you can use for specific purposes to generate specific outputs.
Right. So when you go to a website, have you ever been to a website? I'm asking the audience now. Have you ever been to a website and all of a sudden something pops up and says, "How can I help you?" That's like a bot that's going to be helping you along the way to get it down to exactly what you want, what you're asking for, and whether you need an actual human being. So it's actually saving Dr. Hassell time and responding to emails, but it's also saving company time. Now I realize on a labor side, people are like, well, no, we don't want to eliminate jobs. Well, sometimes it doesn't eliminate jobs. Sometimes that bot goes along with somebody actually working, and the bot can answer those very, very, very routine questions.
And the good thing about it, and the good thing, I'm glad you said that, Ms. Julie, because they call them AI assistants. Mm-hmm. And that's what they are. For those of us that work in service industries, higher education or whatever, the chat bots are linked to actual forms. So when we're not in office, you can talk to somebody. It extends the customer service reach. It logs and goes into a form where when we do a follow-up the next morning, we have everything that we need to know about that particular case. So it's a benefit to you, because here's the thing. It's no more delays in you turn in a paper and have to wait on a phone call. It's right. Like we instantly have your information curated and are ready to get out to serve you. Like, it's the most amazing thing, because I can make a simple request and have immediate assistance the following day, if not the same day. And I think when you talk about, the whole chatbot piece, because some people like it's impersonal, etc., you have to think about it. These are the precursors to what we call a 24-hour economy, where you are serving people continuously. It doesn't matter if people are asleep or awake. You're providing with them. You're communicating with them. And guess what? You're establishing presence outside of your normal work hours. Yeah. And it's no more efficient than that, because it used to be 8 to 4:30, 5. And when businesses shuttered and shut down, that was it. That was all. And it was the same way with phone lines too.
Yes.
But now you don't have to do that anymore. So it makes it even greater.
Well, and the other thing too is if you have a business that has e-commerce or something of that nature, they're making money when you sleep anyway. When they're asleep, they're still making money. And so therefore it just makes that process much easier. And because we are in the World Wide Web space, people are literally not necessarily just logging in during 8:30 to 4:30 or 9 to 5, or they're up all night. I mean, my husband, Brian, he's a third shifter. Still, even after retirement, he's up all night long searching and whatever. So therefore, we have to remember we're in a global economy. We're in a global space rather than just where you are right here and right now. So those of you who are watching, feel free to put comments in the chat. Be sure and jump in and share and like and all that good stuff. And you'll also see on the video, there's the famous, I kept it, the famous Tennessee State University AI Innovation Technology Center. It's a long title, but they provide all types of resources, all kinds of prompts are there. So it's part of the Innovation Center, where Dr. Hassell is the executive director. Did I get that right?
I'm the senior executive director.
Oscar, I'm sorry, I didn't put all the titles behind it. senior executive director. So he had a lot of hand in doing this and putting this, making this available. But the beauty is, not only do we make it available for the Tennessee State University community, but it's made available for us too as well. So jump on in, come on, learn your way around. I highly suggest that if your local library, your local area is having anything on AI, go to it. Go to it, find out, take your laptop, take your Chromebook, whatever you have, and learn as much as you can so that you can be advanced. If you are a business owner, you need to be on there all the time. You need to be learning about it first off and how it can definitely benefit you as much as possible. So, all right. So I want to switch gears here. It's time to talk about these two new books. Now, I have to confess, Dr. Hassell had two other books he was working on, and he's like, "Stop the presses." So be sure and tell them again about your one of your latest awards, appointments, Howard University collaborations. I don't know. As I say, tell the people what's going on.
So I'm excited. I was recently selected as one of the HBCU Policy and Leadership Fellows for Howard University. I was selected as a practitioner fellow. So I'm so excited to be able to afford it, the opportunity to extend my research on artificial intelligence. And I am one of 12 fellows from all over the nation. God is so good. And I do want to shout out my provost, Dr. Robbie K. Milton, and my assistant vice president of the Avon Williams campus, Dr. Deborah Chisholm. They have been so amazing in allowing me to lend myself to those opportunities to get out there and be a researcher. They know I love research, and they have created an avenue for me to participate in that, and I want to give them kudos. Now, it was an act of faith, literally. I saw it, applied, didn't think it would be me, because you have people from all over the country, credentials all over that, but that was a divinely orchestrated opportunity for me. So
yeah, so go for it. So that's the first lesson. Even before he talks about these books and what's going to happen, the biggest thing is that he went for it. So you don't know until you actually press submit, press send, fill out the application. I always say the worst thing is you didn't even go for it. You didn't. I think that's worse than even not. It's just me. But even if they selected other people, it's the mere fact that you went for it, that you tried, that you submitted, that you got it in on time, that you actually went through the rigors of it and through the actual process. So what does this all mean to be one of the those fellows at Howard University?
So you have all different types of researchers and practitioners that come from all over the nation with a variety of backgrounds, contributed their research to a repository of research that goes nationwide. The ACRN network does some amazing work in producing what we call premier, because Howard is an R1 institution, producing research that is going to bridge the gap, enhance understanding, and create a collegium of scholars that are working towards solutions, new systems of thought, academic scholarship that helps improve the mindset and the scope of all that we serve. Because at the end of the day, it's so powerful being a part of it as sister HBCU. I always say it, we don't compete against each other, but we complete each other. And so the opportunity to be a part of a work that is striving to close in those gaps of understanding, build new pathways of connectivity to other disciplines, other systems of thought, other universities coming together at one space is a powerful piece of work. And I'm glad to be a part of cohort 3. Excited about it and all the things that it's going to bring to the forefront and how we're going to be able to help people. My specific project will be over artificial intelligence, particularly dealing with awareness, advocacy, and accessibility for not only faculty, staff, and students, but the greater community and broader communities.
Oh, wow. Okay, so tell us about these two books.
So I just finished a manuscript for a wonderful project, which was the continuation of The Courage to Transition, It's now or never. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good.
The cover. We
Oh,
was ready to go.
we were set up. We were set up.
Buttons.
Yes, we were about to push short button. And I sent in my deposit. And I was just like, okay. And
He knows me. As they say, he knows me. He knows how I do.
I was like, well, we had incubation time. And so I was at my desk and I was like, I was really praying because I was like, I want to do something new, something I've never done before. And I want to leverage my expertise. And I felt a push to move away from what I normally would do. It wasn't abandonment. It wasn't just total disregard, but it was just like pivot now.
Yes.
And so I was sitting at my computer, right where I'm sitting right now, and I began to think about all of the processes that I encountered in getting like my graduate degrees and stuff like that. And I thought about what it was like not to have technology, not to have the resources, etc. You're talking to a person that when I was in graduate school, I was literally living off of 99-cent bags of salad from Aldi's, $2 bottles of salad dressing. Like, you're working towards to get a dissertation done. Like, you're working in nonprofit, $25 an hour. Like, it's a hard road. And to such a degree, like, I remember I couldn't even afford some of my books. So what I would do, I would go to the bookstore. I would read the chapters of the book. I would take good notes. Or if I go to the library, if they had it shelved, read my chapters there, take good notes or copy things. And we had to study. Like, it was tremendous sacrifice. And I always said to myself, and if I was ever in a position of advantage, I would want to use what I've learned to pay it forward.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I adapted, or that I gleaned from our provost, shout outs to Dr. Melton. She has a prompt rubric that's totally amazing. And so what I latched onto was prompting, because I was like, if AI is going to do this, it's too good to be. Let's see what it can do. And so I became a prompt connoisseur, like your prompt godfather. Like, if you needed a prompt, I could get you one, right? And so I was sitting at my desk and I was in sort of a state of delirium, because I was like, what am I going to do? And an idea came to me that said, O'Keefe, make prompts for students that are rooted in academics, different subject areas, research writing, all of that. And all of a sudden, it initially started, these two books started, they started as packets. And I presented on a class, and my pro was like, whoa, no. You cannot hand this out. You need to send it to your publisher now. Get it copyrighted now. So what happened was that, it's been 3 weeks. In 2 weeks, I was going through manuscripts, vetting it, getting all prepped and ready, getting it over to Miss Julia. And literally, I saw it was a bridge to the future, like in both disciplines, like academic disciplines, of course, graduate research, dissertation research. The first book is the AI Dissertation Advantage, right? In that book, it contains smart prompts from all levels of research. It contains from chapter 1 to chapter 5, all in one book.
Oh, yeah. And different departments, different subject departments.
Yes.
You went through crazy.
And it's linked to the ARQ3 dissertation checklist, which goes through all 5 prompts for that. But the good thing about it is it's grounded in applied research. So we're not talking about hypothetical. We're talking about the applied. It includes the Origi convenience to competence scale, Pack It Up, the Melton prompt rubric, the Ascend AI scale. And guess what? It is actually linked to academic policy, the TSU artificial intelligence policy, showing how that is used in higher education. So it is fully grounded in theory. It is fully grounded in applied research. And I'm excited about it because as a dissertation student, we know that changes cost money in documents. And we were spending out bank to make changes to manuscripts. And it was taking us forever to get the parts done. No longer do we have to go through that. We put that prompt in and boom, there we have it. I only wish that I had artificial intelligence back when I was doing my dissertation. Because guess what? It would have made me not just a better writer, but it would have expanded my expertise in such a way that I would have been like, it would have been like knowledge would have been full circle because I've been able to see it from all sides instead of that one side that we're wanting to perfect. Right. But yeah, like the books came about through that inspiration. And I did the one for academics, but then it was just like, you need to go to the other side.
Yeah.
One thing I swore that I would never be was a dumb preacher. And so in this day and age, I think, and considering the climate that we're in, we need to create messages that are impactful and powerful. In addition to that, we need people that even if you don't go to seminary, even if you don't even touch the classroom, you need to have a manual of information that you can glean from that can help you get the results that you're trying to get. Because the thing, some of us need to get a learning with our burning. But even if we don't have the learning, we can actually get one of what I call one of them, them torches that you can feel, that you can light the candle light, And I think we have to transform our theology because here's the thing: technology is a part of theology. AI is crossing over into the theological and religious fields, and of course, just like the church always does, it becomes demonic.
Yes, Lord.
Until there's a necessity for us to acquire the knowledge to obtain it. We swore up and down. Those saints swore up and down. TVs, that one-eyed devil.
But Lord, my grandmama and them didn't have one.
Yeah, you go to the Saints house now.
They didn't have one, dude.
Yeah, you go to the Saints house now. They got big screens in every room. You can't talk about it. Like,
Absolutely.
There was a time when TVs in church, LED screens in choir stands. Like, it's a whole production.
Drums. Some of them didn't even have drums. That was demonic. And
not talking about the upright pianos. Like, you remember that? You remember those?
I remember. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
But
Mary could beat that thing. She can make that thing do what it do.
But teaching them that technology is not our enemy. I think in theology, particularly religion, let me contextualize this for the African American church.
Right.
Always been in the space where we are catching up.
Yes.
Or having to retrofit our dynamics, our organizations, because we weren't adaptable. And so by creating this book, particularly with the AI and theological education, I wanted to show that, number one, technology is not the enemy. Two, we need to learn how to leverage it to get the results that we want. And then three, that there is an intentionality or way that we engage it to our benefit.
Absolutely.
And the more we engage it, the more we put into it, the more beneficial it becomes. Because I'll be honest, we spend too much money trying to retrofit something that is obsolete in our models.
Oh, no. Ouch. I just say ouch for other people.
We spend too much money and too much time trying to retrofit and make something old look new. No, that's biblical principle. You can't put new wine into old wineskins because of the
preach, sir.
I try to, I'm a Bible preacher. I try to dot them I's and cross them T's every now and then.
Yes, sir.
We have to learn how to leverage the technology. And I think those of us that are there are some of us that are in the future already. We've been in the future for a while.
Absolutely.
And we look like John the Baptist in the wilderness in wild locust hunting and say, hey, AI technology is here. Hey, it'll help you do this. Hey, it'll help you do that. And people are like, no, it's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we don't have to be in the place where we're disenfranchised because of a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And so that was the premise behind developing that particular book. I will just literally say it was a divine interruption. I would have never done something like that to my publisher at the last minute. So for you authors that are with Miss Julia, Don't do it at the last minute. He was this close, this close.
No, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was his book. Both of his books are not little 125 books pages. They're not like 125 pages. They're like nearly 300 pages each. So he has done a lot of. For those of you who know you need it, you know you need help with prompts. You know you've got your dissertation ahead of you. You know you're not only just your theological dissertation, but you got your regular ed, you got whatever the area that nursing, whatever you're involved in, you know, you got a lot of that ahead of you.
Yeah.
He has, what the old folks say, he's cut across the field.
Yes, and it'll. And here's the thing: it will cut your time in half. And here's the good thing about it: it will help keep, if you're doing the AI dissertation advantage, it will help keep you and your chair on track.
Yes.
It will help you. You know, I remember when we were in math, right? They always talked about show your work.
Yeah.
You will be able to show your work through your prompts.
Yeah.
Because you'll be able to generate the output because you'll have the information to put in the prompt that will give you an answer that's specific to you. With the AI and Theology book, you actually you can put any prompt, whatever you're looking for. Like it's all the way from undergraduate to D-Min, whatever you're looking for, put your prompt in, put your angle in, and it generates just that. And I think when you give people the power to prompt, they can see that they can actually do it.
Yep. Yeah.
Because AI is giving you the information, but it's not creating the prompt. The prompt is your thought to the actual platform. And the output is a reflection of your thought that's assisted.
Yes.
So it gets no better than that. And I think what we need is that wraparound learning. You see what I'm saying? Though, and the good thing about AI, like I said before, is it prompts you in areas that you aren't thinking.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, to consider, like you, and it is anything like you can remove bias, all of those things that we wouldn't think about, cultural sensitivity, different things like that. It gives you that up front. And so I'm excited about it. It's a tremendous pivot for me because I've never done anything like it before. I feel like I just like hopped into a whirlwind, but and I did ask clarifying questions because I was like, you know, Miss Royston, Miss Julia, what do you think? Like this is
well, I mean, when you get to a specific area, one of the beauties is like he said, because I've seen it, is each chapter he gives you the prompt for the subject, and then that goes along with each chapter. And you can't get no more clearer than that. You just can't get. And there's not like, oh, he doesn't give you like 5 or 10 prompts. There's like 90 in some sections, 75 in other sections. And then he breaks it down even further. That could be 15 or 20 or 30. And yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. But that's okay. Me and Brian is going to hit him up and he's going to take us to dinner when we get down to Nashville next time. But the beauty of it is that it's already, it's done for you. A lot of the work. Now you still have to analyze it. You still have to apply it to your question, to your what you're working on for your research. So it's not like it's writing a dissertation for you. No, love. You still have to put in the work. You still have to do your part, but at least you have step one. You have the ability to use the AI dissertation advantage. Oh my Lord, it's such an advantage to your advantage to make sure. So if you know, if you're associated on a graduate level, I'm going to put Dr. Hassell's, he's on Facebook, he's on Instagram, hit him up, DM him, inbox him, and let him know he can speak to your staff. He's got it. And fortunately, and special shout out to Tennessee State because they have really been in his corner. They have really supported him, not just for the Howard University Fellows project and program, but they have supported him all the way through. So special shout out to them, all the staff and administration and faculty there that have really supported him because he's making your life easier. He's making it better for your students and for the future. So I shout out to you, as they say, and shout out to me for getting it done. reach out to him.
Never would have made it.
Shout out to him. Really connect with him. And even if you're like, we don't want to talk about AI on the graduate school level, but let him talk to your young people. Let him talk to just be a speaker. He's an excellent speaker. He's an excellent preacher. Bring him into your ministry areas, because I know I love the church more than you know, but we still run a little bit farther behind. So your upcoming conferences that you're thinking about, you need a speaker for something that's different and innovative. Yes, reach out to Dr. Hassell and have him, because 2026 will be here if the Lord has not returned really quickly. So if you're considering doing that, jump in there soon, because he's going to be on the road, I guess, flying back and forth to DC and all that other good stuff. So, okay. So the books are available on Amazon.com. They're going to be available through him. So reach out to him. I would prefer that you get a signed copy. So connect with Dr. Hassell. You'll be able to pre-order. I'll be helping him with that piece, and we'll be promoting to universities, especially first off in the region, and then taking it to the next level. All right. So, Dr. Hassell, last question. What's next? What's the Lord saying now?
So I think I told myself, I was asking God, like, what should I do? How should I approach it? And how have you positioned me in this dispensation? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do it? How do you want me to project my voice? I was like, because I need to have a message, but I also need to have a mandate and a mantra. And literally, God has charged me to be a bridge and a light. Because ignorance is darkness, but information is light.
Mm-hmm.
And so my task is to build ways where there are no ways, to solve protracted problems, to give people insight and information so that they can illuminate their own path to fulfillment. I think the most powerful thing that we can do as practitioners, as ministry leaders, is empower people to become what they are purposed to be.
Oh, okay. So hold on, stop right there. Because that's a whole nother session period. That's a whole nother interview. But I think that's the core of where a lot of the problem lies, is that empowering others to be all that God purposed them to be, and not utilizing people for what you want them to be to you. Right. And so, yeah, that's a hard one. You're going to have to teach us on that. That's another book, or one of the books on leadership or whatever, to help get the mindset together. And hopefully the Southeast region will be able to help with that process, to formulate leaders and to train leaders to be able to think like that and do that. Because it's one thing if they don't know, but if people know and you're hindering them from being all that God created them to be, that's a whole nother conversation and a whole nother training and mindset shift that has to happen. So yeah, keep going, sir.
And you know, and I said that like intentionally, because like right now I feel like a pioneer. I'm carving out uncharted territory, and I'm just hoping that at the end of my journey, whatever that end is that when a person doesn't know where they're going, that they look up and see a path that they can follow.
Yeah.
And they know by looking at that path, it's been treaded and it's sure.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, at this point in my life, it feels like I'm constantly jumping out on faith, doing radical things. But what I found out is that there is a blessing in being radical. There's a blessing in being what people perceive as revolutionary. And I always say is, I'll probably be one of those gifts that people don't appreciate until they're sort of like gone. Like you'll have the, oh, great for you. But then it's just like, oh, he really was right. The thing is, I think the most powerful testament that we can leave to people is inspiration. And one of the most powerful things, and I take it from the biblical narrative, when the children of Israel were getting ready to cross Jordan,
Yep.
they had them take stones out and stack them up on the top.
Yep.
And the question was, when your children ask what these stones mean, tell them it was at this place that we crossed over to the other side. And that's my work. That's my work, is not only traveling to Jordan, but picking up those stones out of the riverbed of possibility and potential and placing them on the bank as a sign to generations that are going to come behind me to say, guess what? This can be done, but you have a responsibility to what's in front of you to do greater than what's already been done.
Absolutely.
So that's the fuel that keeps me going. That's the fuel that I'm excited about. And you know, I've discovered this: nowhere is always somewhere with God.
Yeah.
It's just you're having to follow the cloud by day.
That's right.
And the pillar of fire by night. But
that's it. That's it.
Get where He wants you to go. And so that's the journey.
Yeah, and the Texas mothers, when I lived out there, they used to say, just tell the Lord yes. Don't be asking him all them questions. So that's what Dr. Hassell has done. He's told the Lord yes. And I guess I'm along for the ride too, because I'm like, is this where we going, Jesus? He said, this is where we going. And you going too. So it's been an honor and a privilege to have met you so long ago. My cousin introduced us, and we've been on a roller coaster ride journey up and down, but you know, God's got somewhere for us to go and some for us to get, and you're going to be a pivotal point to leading the way. So congratulations on all of your opportunities, all of your many, many, many hats that you wear. And so, as they say, God give him strength, courage, and wisdom to continue to move forward. So thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you.
Look forward to all the many other things. Lord, help him to at least give us 2 months to get it done. But anyway, that's my prayer. That's my prayer. But we'll be ready when the next thing comes down the pipe. You all be blessed. Dr. Hassell, it's been a pleasure again. I'm Dr. Julia Royston, praying today, tomorrow, and always that you live your best life. Let's do it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.